I have no idea why it did that. None.
15 seconds to launch. Places, please. 5 seconds.
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
One of those days, huh?
Age, what, 60?
That
He's
was
just
not
gonna
me.
break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
I think it was.
System that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
and erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily Mojo.
Hump day! Hump day!
Morons. I've got morons on my team.
Yep, there are days you feel that way. Today might be one of those. If you are concerned about what is happening in Washington, D.C., and after all, who isn't? Because quite frankly, things are what we like to call pretty effed up there right now. And they are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to figure out what they can do to stop Donald Trump.
Yep.
And they're willing to do, and I'm going to use the word literally, they're willing to do literally anything.
Yeah.
Up to and including shooting the guy. They've tried that. Didn't work out so well for them. So they're going the legal route now with this James Boasberg. Now, of course, the mainstream media, the legacy media, if you will, won't chase this guy down. But this is the district court judge. He's in D.C. District Court, which ironically is one of the places where you cannot buy the burn a launcher from
That's correct.
protectmymojo.com for good reason, because there's so much insanity there. You'd probably be popping people upside the head every time you walked out in the street. By the way, we'll be talking to Ross Panttell coming up in the first hour of the program, who is the reseller for the burn a launcher that we have partnered up with. And so he'll answer questions if you have any, and he'll actually give you his cell phone number. You want to just call him later. Say, hey, Ross, what's up?
What's happening?
What's happening? What are you doing? What are you wearing? Might want to ask him about the burner launcher, but that's up to you. Anyway, this Judge James Boasberg in D.C., if you can't remember what the douche canoe looks like, he looks a lot like this right here. He just looks like a douche canoe, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yes, Brad, he does. I thought so, too.
he does.
He was going to and participated in what they're calling a Democrat strategy session. They say it was masquerading as a legal conference up in Sun Valley. The conference's agenda items: judges in a democracy and state of democracy. They love throwing the democracy thing around.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is a threat to our democracy, which thankfully I think is starting to be, we're desensitized to it now. I mean, I know we're not a democracy to begin with, but I think we're all getting desensitized to the word Democrat and democracy, and that's good, because I think that their message is starting to get rather soggy. It's called a privately funded seminar disclosure report. And this is the document that discloses that Boasberg was in attendance, but it doesn't really tell you whether or not he was paid for his attendance or his travel, or if he got any payment in kind. This is, by the way, over at PJ Media via Zero Hedge. The outlet was alerted to the conference and to Boasberg's attendance strangely enough, by a retired Democrat-appointed judge who was concerned that this event in 2024 in July, focusing on the judge's role in a democracy, was too close to a political party's theme for comfort. There are some, I know this is hard for me to say.
Breathe.
There are some good, honest, decent judges out there. There are some good, honest, decent Democrats out. There are some good, decent, honest lawyers out there.
That was tough. I see.
It
was tough.
is very tough for me to say that, but it's true. They are few and far between, but they're out there. So anyway, if this report is true, it was a retired Democrat appointed judge who's like, wait a second, this is not good. So this is overseen by the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts. The ethical rules governing federal judges require that a private entity who issues an invitation to a federal judge to attend an educational program as a speaker, panelist, or attendee and offers to pay for or reimburse that judge in excess of $480.
It's an odd number. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Must disclose financial and programmatic information. The rules do not require a specific accounting for each judge or even how much was paid to judges at all. Is it possible that his payment was merely reimbursement for expenses? It is possible that it was merely reimbursement for expenses, but Boasberg did not respond to a request for comment from Just the News. Because, he's a judge. He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to, yeah.
Yeah, so kiss his ass, basically, is what he's saying. The judge in this case, and all of the judges that were attending, strangely enough, they're all part of this Rodell Institute's Judicial Fellowship. And each attending judge, including Boasberg, was a first-year fellow. According to the Institute's website, Rodell receives funding from the same foundations that frequently bankroll anti-Trump organizations, programs, and publications. Additionally, the Institute's faculty advisors, 20 in total, are overwhelmingly outspoken Trump critics or those who have opposed his policies. Weird. In the words of Rachel Zegler, weird. Right? The Rodell, it sounds really official. The Rodell Institute and their Judicial Fellowship. What happens when you look at them? The Rodell Institute. There it is right there. I bet it looks all. Look at that. Strengthening democracy and improving public leadership. Which, of course, if we run that through the filters of today and reality, means that they are weakening democracy and absolutely, what's the opposite of improving?
Destroying
public leadership. A Center for Leadership and Intellectual Development. The Rodell Institute. What people say about us. In an increasingly polarized nation, Rodell demonstrates the power of engaging leaders with diverse beliefs and backgrounds. The lessons Rodell teaches are essential for addressing the demands of public leadership today, according to Francis X. Suarez, the mayor of Miami, Florida. Do you trust anybody in politics anymore?
No, I've learned not to, because politics is nothing but is theater.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's theater.
If you realize that all these people are really actors, then you realize that what they say at home may not be the same thing they say on television.
Exactly. And they are, and some are better actors than others. What's her face? Jasmine Crockett down here fabulous actor.
Yeah,
incredible. Gets involved in the part. Really soaks herself in the essence of the part. And is probably on her way to winning some sort of an Academy Award. In the case of politics, though, you win an Academy Award by being advanced in the political machine and getting more power,
leadership
and more money.
in committees and things like that. Yeah,
exactly. And which is, why Chuck Schumer is the De Niro.
Yeah, the old timer.
Politics.
Yep.
The old timer who is past his prime. But he doesn't want to go out. He wants to stick around so he can, put more raw hamburger with cheese on it on a barbecue grill and make it look like he's, just a normal guy. A normal guy. Gets up every day, floats in the air, puts his pants on both legs at the same time. He's just like the rest of us. But this conference, this Rodell Judicial Fellowship, stinks to high heaven. The Institute's board of directors stacked with Trump critics, including Ian Solomon, co-founders Bill and Don Budinger, have deep ties to Democratic organizations and candidates, with Don opposing Arizona's immigration enforcement efforts and backing Democratic Senate candidates. Former Montana Governor Steve Bullock was under consideration for Kamala Harris's cabinet, and former Arizona legislator Heather Carter abandoned the GOP and endorsed Democrats like Katie Hobbs. You've got Jamie Woodson, who co-chaired a report lamenting political disinformation in 2016. And former Washington Attorney General Rob McKenna openly attacked Trump, calling him a demagogue and dismissing his legal arguments as flimsy. So what's happening here, and it's pretty plain to see if you, again, have two brain cells to rub together, and Phil Bell will be discussing it further in his morning update. It's really a judicial coup trying to take out the president, or slow in his roll. And there are enough of the general population, the great unwashed, who don't even know what the roles of the three branches of government are to make the argument against what's happening, because they haven't taught civics and political science in schools, or history for that matter. They're busy focused on pronouns and gender reassignment surgery, which is why it is so incredibly good that the Department of Education is on its way out, hopefully. I mean, that will be a bit of won't be a bit, it'll be an incredible accomplishment. So I'm looking for, let me see if I can find her, because there was an amazing, there it is. Oh, to say that this will make, Ron, this is going to make you hot. I don't want to, hot in a good way, because this is the antithesis of Karine Jean-Pierre, Caroline Leavitt.
Yep.
In the White House press room, talking to the reporter from the Associated Press. They hate Caroline Leavitt.
Leavitt.
I said it was Leavitt, right?
No, Leavitt.
I thought it was Leavitt.
No, that's what I tell my dog when they pick up something that they're not supposed to have.
But I thought that's how I...
Leave it. No, it's Leavitt. Caroline Leavitt. Not Carolyn Leavitt.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. I Caroline, love you.
Love you.
Love it. Caroline, I love you. Love it. And it's going to make you love her even more when you hear this interchange.
Sorry, have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have. They don't get charged on foreign companies. They get charged on the importers.
And ultimately, when we have fair and balanced trade, which the American people have not seen in decades, as I said at the beginning, revenues will stay here, wages will go up, and our country will be made wealthy again. And I think it's insulting that you're trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press.
Boom. Holy crap.
We just saw the Associated Press get bitch slapped into next week.
I now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. Next.
Right? Can you imagine Karine Jean-Pierre trying to get through half of that statement?
No. Not without flipping through a notebook.
Right.
She would have needed to look for her answer.
Yeah. And Joe Biden would have been up there trying to figure out who the hell the guy was. The dude just, I mean, the condescension.
Have you ever paid a tariff? Because I have.
Because I have.
I have. Drama much? Because I have. You silly, silly woman. I have.
The haircut gives him away.
It really does. Who is that sitting next to him? Is that Major Garrett?
I don't think so.
Who is that dude?
Don't know.
And who's the chick behind him looking over at dude like, dude, you're a douche canoe. Right? I mean, she is not your grandmother's press secretary. She will kick your ass. And that's good. And she's smart. And does the media praise her at all?
No, not at all.
Because, Trump is afraid of smart women.
No, because she's a strong, smart woman. They don't want those.
Nope. Much easier to control the stupid women. Yeah, I was going to say something like, but I repeat myself. But I held off.
You did
See what I did there?
Yeah.
See what I did there? I do have some self-restraint. Not much self-restraint, but I do have some self-restraint. And the bottom line that we're all dealing with is the fact that pretty much nothing we see anymore is real. It's all fake. The news is fake. Hell, reality itself, I am still not convinced that we aren't living in a simulation.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, if we all woke up one day gagging on something down our throat, sorry. Ron, I know that's happened to you on more than one occasion.
What?
But the Matrix, when the tube down the throat and you're in the big tub of goo.
Yeah, that's...
you wake up and you pull that out of your mouth and you're like, and you spit it all out because you don't want to swallow that stuff. Lord knows what's in it. But reality isn't real anymore. And there's proof all over the interwebs. This is the, what was my prompt? This is for the Rev. I think it's called Rev. Is it Rev or Reeve? REVE.
The image creator? Yeah.
The image creator, Rev AI. It's Rev AI, REVE AI.org. It is a free online image generator. You can put into it whatever you want to put into it, and it'll spit something right back out at you.
Doesn't make any sense, the first sentence, but okay.
But you see, it does. I thought the same thing. The prompt for this was create an image that represents the concept that, quote, reality isn't real anymore, and make it cool and compelling so that people will want to click on it. And that's what the Rev or Reeve kicked back out at me. Now, what part do you think isn't real? Or that doesn't make any sense?
Only here can't real, whatever the word is, free.
Anye free?
Anye, yeah.
Real anye free. That is the language of Eve. That's a real language. Yep. As a matter of fact, here's a quick lesson in Eve. If you would like to learn some Eve.
How do you say good morning in Eve? Hi, welcome to the class. Now, good morning is ndi. Ndi. If you want to say good morning to you, one person, you say ndi nawo. Ndi nawo.
That, again, is...
Say good morning in Eve.
Eve is the language. Real Anye, I'm assuming, it's probably Anye, translates into English in the form of real would be. Only here can't real would be free. Reality isn't real anymore. It actually does make sense It's just written in a different language, which I didn't tell it to put it in a foreign language, but it did. That's a little frightening. The Ivi language, it's spoken primarily in, it's a tonal language belonging to the Gbi language family, primarily spoken in southeastern Ghana and southern Togo, with a smaller presence in Benin. Isn't that weird?
It is weird. It sounds weird.
It does sound weird, mainly because you're xenophobic. But what?
I don't think that's the case.
Look, you don't like any other foreign languages. That's on you.
You say good morning in ever. Hi, welcome to the class. Now, good morning is ndi.
Ndi. Say it with me. Ndi.
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 Ndi. If you want to say good morning to you, one person, you say ndi nawu.
Ndi nawu.
I'm
writing this shit down because we're going to start using Indi Nawu. Indi Nawu. That's going to be like our secret code language.
Does it have to be?
Here in the, yep.
Okay.
Here in the Daily MoJo, we're going to, I feel like I'm not saying that right. Indi is NDI. Indi Nawu.
I like it.
Good morning to you.
Good gay morning, May. Can we just go with that?
You would. It does not surprise me in the least. And and there's nothing wrong with being simple, Ron. There's nothing wrong with being simple. If you'd like to join the simpletons here on the Daily MoJo, the hashtag to use is what I learned today. And please, wherever you're watching, if there's a like button, hit it. If there's a subscribe button, hit it. Punch the hell out of it. And we'll all get along fine. And, you want to send, if there's a little tip, if there's a tip jar, tip us. What's it going to hurt? You got the extra money. You're walking around with your pants all full of money and stuff. Let us have some of that. Share the wealth. Would you rather give it to us or the government?
Share some goodness.
Right. I mean, I would think you'd rather give it to us than the government.
True.
We'll do better things with it. Over in the, the Rumble chat room, we got Space Hippie on vacay over there. Damn it with Beaver, who is apparently branching out into new. Did you see the
Angered Beaver? Yeah, I saw that. Angered Beaver.
The Angered Beaver tree service?
Yeah.
Right. She'll come out and gnaw on your limbs. If you want her to. Missy 13, I honestly feel like everything is fake. I don't look at life the same anymore. I just take it day by day. I think a lot of us are feeling that way.
I feel that way. I feel that there are a lot of, that's what I'm saying. It's all theater.
Every bit of it.
And anytime you turn the TV on and you're watching something political, it's all theater. And I don't like that because you can't, it's hard to discern what is real and what is not. Hell, social media is theater, especially X.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Big time. And with the Reve thing or Reeve AI, this is how fast it works. Let's make it a 16 by 9. Give me just describe something, Ron, just off the top of your head. Let's just create an image together. We'll make beautiful.
Let me think here.
Artwork. Yeah.
Give me
That's enough thinking.
1967 Chevrolet Chevelle, canary yellow.
1967 canary yellow Chevy Chevelle.
Yeah. On the streets of Brooklyn.
Really?
With people walking by. Yeah.
What's wrong with Indianapolis?
Okay, that's fine. All right, go with Indianapolis.
No, we'll go with Brooklyn. No, fine. Brooklyn isn't really New York anyway. Right, Missy?
With several onlookers.
With several. How about 4?
Okay.
With 4 onlookers wearing raincoats.
Okay.
Wearing green. Well, Brad, you're giving it all time to draw it while you're typing. Right?
He hasn't generated
so
it
1967
yet.
canary yellow. I have not. Canary yellow Chevy Chevelle on the streets of Brooklyn with 4 onlookers wearing green raincoats. Let's see what it comes up with in 3, 2,
oh, shit.
1.
Look at that.
Is that not freaking amazing? Now, it did get one of the raincoats the wrong color.
Yeah.
There's 3 wearing green and 1 wearing yellow. I think that was the AI saying, blow me, I'm going to do what I want here, which is kind of crazy. And you have the Kinesis set can in the background. It doesn't do signs real well.
It doesn't do signs really well. I've
It's
noticed
kinda
that
weird.
before, yeah, but that Chevy Chevelle's nice.
Isn't it great? I mean, it did forget the driver of the Chevy Chevelle. I'm going to give it that. There's no one driving that car, so that could be Christine. But that car's in good shape.
I used to own
You
one
think it's for
time.
sale? Did it look that good?
Well, mine was a souped up hot rod, but yeah, it looked that good.
It didn't?
Yeah.
That could be your car right there. Look at the white wall tires. They don't make those anymore. The hubcaps are, I mean, that is just freaky. And all AI does is all right, what's a 67 Chevelle look like that's canary? Because you can find, I could Google, a 67 Chevelle that's canary yellow. So all it does is scour the interwebs for the things you described, gathers them all up in a nice little pile, places them on a canvas, and gives it to you. The weird thing, if you notice, but it gets little things wrong, like the stop sign back here on the wrong side of the street.
Yeah.
It's either on the wrong side of the street. Well, it has to be on the wrong side of the street. It's also in the wrong place because there's a car behind it going the wrong way. And when I had it create my, let's see, where did I put that? My 1970 Formula 400. I wonder if let's see, if I copy and paste this, I don't know. Oh, it might. Let's see what happens if I just copy and paste the URL from where I drew it over here. What happens? Yeah, it doesn't show anything. So there are some limitations. But the fact that it can do that quickly, and I don't know that it will do video yet. I don't think it will. But I saw this was all prompted by someone on X, and who was it? Was it Wisconsin Jackhole? Who posted the video of the woman looking in the mirror, and I think she was combing her hair, and it was like, whoa, this is crazy. We're toast at this point, because reality isn't. When you can start creating videos like this of anything you want,
yeah,
how do you trust anything that you see?
Exactly. It's all
and
theater.
It's tough.
Yep.
It's all. I do. The more I look at that car, the more. You think it's for sale somewhere? And riddle me this, Batman. Why did we ever think putting fabric on a roof was a good idea?
Yeah, I don't know.
Vinyl tops. Remember those?
I do.
It was like, what? I have a good idea. We'll put a fabric on top of the car. It will be fabulous. It will be wonderful.
Where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom.
And then all they did was get flaky and peel off if you didn't take really, really, really good care of them and leave your car in the garage 99% of the time. Right?
Yes.
Crazy stuff. The world isn't real anymore. Then you knew that. Coming up in just a couple of moments here. Funny thing happened at DFW Airport this past week.
Yeah, it was
and
funny.
It was real.
It was real.
It was, we think it was real.
I'm pretty sure it was real.
It involves nakedity.
Nakedity.
And we'll get in nakedity. We'll get into that next year on the Daily MoJo.
Where political correctness comes to die. The Daily MoJo.
Howdy, hello to the folks of the Daily MoJo chat room. Fake Zoe is there. Deb Jabway is in there. Let's see. What is the biggest... thank you, Pope Freebie the 38th. What is the the biggest threat to democracy that we currently have?
Politicians.
Da-dum. Is it Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, or corrupt U.S. politicians?
Yep.
And according to the meme, Bob, it is corrupt U.S. politicians. Kind of strange, but we all knew that. DMXDM says, do not ask AI to generate an image of a two-tone blue 84 Corvette with a Lance 1880 travel trailer upside down on top of the Corvette. Hold on a minute, because you know what that makes me want to do?
Test the theory. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Copy. See if this will work. Copy and paste. You ready?
Go.
Here we go in 3, 2. Not quite. Is that a Lance 1880 travel trailer?
That doesn't look like a travel trailer. That looks like
It does not look like a travel trailer.
Looks like a camper.
And it's not upside down.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily a two-tone Corvette.
It's upside. The blue. Well, look. Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is light blue. I guess I thought it was
but
reflection.
That is not a Lance 1880. Wait a minute. Did DM dick us around there? Did they make a travel trailer in 1880? I don't think they did. Did he mean 1980?
No, he probably meant a Lance 1880, meaning the model of the travel trailer.
Well, then Reeve is retarded. Because it doesn't know. All right, so this happened in...
Yeah, it did.
DFW. A couple of things here. If you don't like naked women...
Yeah.
Hey, you do you, boo. If you don't like naked women and you don't like cuss words, there's both. Which, to me, is like an exciting Saturday night. But, you know, to you, it might not be. So here we go in 3, 2, 1.
No way, stop.
Yeah. She is all the way naked.
She is big time.
And thrusting.
She is having... Now I've had the time of my life, and I've never been this way before. And the next day, I speak all languages, MFer. I mean, do you know the self-confidence it takes? The level of self-confidence it takes to stand in the middle of DFW Terminal D.
Butt-ass naked.
Buck-ass naked, with us. Well, we know one thing: the carpet matches the drapes.
Now she's doing a little jig.
Dance.
Yeah.
She can. She. Do you think this was like a sorority hazing? I mean, this is just.
Now she's throwing her phone at the TV screens.
She is trying to. She is bouncing.
Wow.
She is. Yep. So that was weird. And then she was reportedly heard the next morning saying this.
I did what? I did what?
I did what?
I did what?
It's kind of come as a shock to you, but that's also AI generated speech. But I guarantee you that's what she said the next day.
I did what?
Yeah.
I did what? What makes you, I mean, I don't go for the low-hanging fruit. Sorry. You think it was just drugs? Yeah, Brad.
I don't know if that was drugs or not. Well, I was thinking about it, dude. Give me a second. I don't know if that was drugs or if she was just having a psychotic break.
A naked man walked up to a TSA checkpoint in Detroit and got screened. This is not as uncommon as you would think.
Yeah.
There has been it's common enough that there has been a judicial determination that getting naked at TSA is not protected by the First Amendment. Ain't that some schmiz?
It has to happen enough that they do that, though, right? I mean, wow.
Exactly.
I mean, are you trying to prove a point by stripping naked and trying to get that? I guess.
She had a couple of points to prove. This dude had a strange, some sort of a strange Smurfish birth defect over the lower half of his body. Either that, or does it look like an upside down Smurf hanging onto his leg?
Could be, dude.
Like trying to bite his knee. He looks really upset. And this is the undisputed winner of the competition, Florida, where a nearly naked woman stormed a TSA checkpoint and got tased on the buttocks. How did we miss that story? That was 10 years ago. That a woman, was it a man or a woman? This story says it's a man. A man clad only in his underpants, toting Japanese fighting sticks, was shot with a stun gun after he dashed into the main concourse of Tallahassee Regional Airport, claiming he had a plane to catch. Well, why else would you be running in Tallahassee Airport? He received taser wounds in the back and the buttocks before he was arrested. He was uninjured and was not in possession of an airline ticket, police. After he was detained, excuse me, do you know what he said?
Ouch. What?
No, he, it's just going to be more effective if I put it over here. I mean, sure, it's going to be her saying it.
I kind of always wanted to be tased.
That's what he said.
I kind of always wanted to be tased.
I kind of always wanted to be tased.
Interesting.
Right? That's never really been on my bucket list.
No.
Of stuff to do. A woman walked naked through the Atlanta airport, stopping to pose for photos. And this past fall, a naked man was found strolling past the TGI Fridays at DFW. What in the hell? Where have we been when these naked people have been at the airport?
I don't know. My airport treks are never that fun.
Right?
This woman was losing her mind, but she was all over the place.
Are you calling her crazy?
Golly, man. She was running around. And that voice. Just be quiet.
Shut your dirty
walk around, be naked,
mouth.
And be quiet.
Right. There's another monitor. Whoa.
She's coherent enough to catch that phone.
You got action, people. Oh, she fucked that hoe up. Y'all just gonna let her do that?
Uh-oh, she spotted you. She does not like this guy because he keeps trying to put the kibosh on her activities.
Yep.
And I was trying to give her my coat.
And off she runs.
She clearly did not want to wear a coat. Now, in that case, Ron, do you stop? Do you take photos?
Yes. For posterity's sake.
You know, someone has to do it.
Show your grandkids, man. Look at this idiot.
Speaking of.
Is this our Miss America?
I don't know that she is an idiot, but here is a statement from yesterday's 15 Minutes of Fame du jour. Lily Stewart is her name. She was the Miss America arrested for speeding not once, but twice in the same afternoon.
I'm just kind of here for it. I mean, not like at first it went viral on Facebook and I was taking, not viral, but I was taking my legal test and my mom calls me and she's like, Lily, don't freak out, but your Facebook post for your criminal thing has 500 likes. I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, like, I don't care. And then from there,
Yes, she does.
that was about a week ago. And then from there, it just kept getting more. I mean, I look at the comments and I think it's funny, you know, but I mean, to me, it's just funny. Cause I mean, I understand, like, it's surprising that I got arrested for speeding. And
is it? Because you did it twice.
Well, no, one of them was loitering and prowling.
No. That was the third time.
Oh, the third one. Oh, okay. God. Oh.
I was smiling because I always smile for a photo, you know? There's going to be gross comments everywhere. There's obviously gross old men saying weird things, but
I don't know
felt
what
like
she's
she
talking
was
about.
looking at me.
I don't know. I have no idea what she's talking to.
I'm not sure I like her anymore. I think we'll just move on. Phil Bell is here with his morning update.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily MoJo with your morning update. I am just a podcaster. I am just the Daily MoJo's DC correspondent. I am just an all-around, lovable, single, handsome, good guy. Ladies, please take notice. I'm not sure those qualifications, while being very good, are up to snuff to advise the Trump administration, but I'm going to offer some advice here because I have a very grave concern. I believe the Trump administration is currently experiencing a coup from the federal judiciary. You see, Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution says the executive power shall be vested in the president. Therefore, the president has the ability to determine how the executive branch works. He has the ability to determine who he hires and who he fires. Therefore, if he says we are going to eliminate the majority of the people in USAID and that they've got to go, then guess what? They've got to go. And there is no member of the judiciary that has the constitutional authority to tell him otherwise. That's why I believe President Trump and his team should ignore the rulings of these Obama and Biden judges who are trying to tell him how to operate the executive department. The executive branch, the legislative branch, and the judicial branch are co-equal branches. One cannot tell the other how to conduct its own affairs. A best example of this are the addresses to Congress. The president cannot just go over to the Capitol and say, I want to give a speech. He must be invited. This is not just a tradition. This is constitutional. Therefore, the judiciary coming in and saying, oh, no, you can't fire these people, amounts to taking the constitutional power of the president away. And I pray that President Trump and his team will ignore these unconstitutional rulings and fight back. Now, what I want you in the audience to do is leave a comment under this video. Let us know what you are doing to help make America great again and preserve our Constitution as it is written. What I also want you to do is download the Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C., and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's morning update is only on the Daily MoJo.com.
The Daily MoJo, making mornings bright with Brad and Ron. They keep it funky tight.
Funky tight now.
News, laughs, and the moves that feel so right. It's the Daily MoJo, keeping the world in sight.
The Daily MoJo.
Public nudity has historically fluctuated based on social attitudes, legal changes, and specific events. In the 2020s, a few factors suggest that incidents might be increasing in certain contexts, so it's not a uniform trend. Get it?
I see what you did.
It could be a uniform trend.
Could be.
And I think we should make a rule that you can't do it unless you're smoking hot.
Oh, yeah. That should be a rule, yes.
I really should be a rule. I don't change my mind. Ross Panttell is the owner of Panttell Less Lethal Protection, and he joins us now. Ross, just a quick question. You ever run around naked in public?
No, not at all.
Is there a reason for that, or is it just something that's just never been on your bucket list?
Ask me maybe 40 years ago. That's a different story.
All right. And besides, if you're running around naked, where do you keep your burn a launcher? Don't answer that because there is
you
an
have to
answer.
get the compact model, you know.
Now I have to look that up to find out if anyone has ever done that, which I'm sure that
you
they
could always
have.
carry your
But
pepper spray.
That's a great. Well, if they bust open though,
Carry
they're in
your
a world
pepper
of hurt.
spray.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I guess you could wear it like an armband. It's good to meet you in virtual person. We spoke on, was that Sunday?
Sunday, yeah, it was Sunday.
It was Sunday. So, and thank you for being a part of the Daily Mojo family. You may be questioning your decisions at this point in life, but we have an interesting bunch of people out there that are watching and listening, and this has actually struck a pretty decent chord with them. These the Byrna launcher, which how long have you been a reseller of these?
Roughly about 18 months.
And what made you decide to get into the Byrna launcher business? I mean, I'm assuming you're an entrepreneur. You like working for yourself. What was the reasoning behind it?
Well, basically, I was actually looking to buy a gun shop in Pennsylvania because I live in New Jersey and the laws here are ridiculous for gun holders, just like a Byrna. I can't carry it with me. I can only use it as home use. So I was looking at a gun shop in Pennsylvania, came very close to closing the deal, but, decided that opportunity was not right for me. And then within probably a couple of months later, I ran across Byrna. And what intrigued me about it is with everything that was going on at that time, I did go out and get my gun license, did not buy a gun because I was worried that they were going to take it away, the government at that time. So I decided when I checked out Byrna, talked to them in depth, did some research, talked to my attorney, made sure what the right rules were here in New Jersey. And it worked out well. And they're a fantastic company that really held my hand because this is something new to me. I grew up in the garment business, making uniforms for the NFL, Major League Baseball. So I said to myself, this is an opportunity that's in demand and it's only going to get bigger. And fast forward 18 months later, it's becoming more popular, but still it's not well known to this day.
And of course we want to change that for people who are unfamiliar with the Byrna, because the first thing you want to do when you hold it is you want to call it a gun, but technically it's a launcher. Why is it called a launcher?
Well, basically, if you say gun, it scares people. And obviously, if you do have a situation where you have to use your launcher, I tell everyone that regardless if someone comes on your property or you're in a state like yours where you can use it and carry it with you, you always want to let the police know that you have a Byrna launcher. And when the person is incapacitated by using either the kinetic, the pepper, or tear gas rounds, you then stand away, make sure they're not going anywhere. And once they're hit with pepper or tear gas, they're not going anywhere. They're just calling for help. So you want to make sure your launcher is, you take the magazine out, you put it to the side. You don't want police coming and saying, hey, I have a Byrna gun. They're going to come drawing their gun, worrying what's going on. So just think of it after the fact of what happens, that you want to make sure that you're dissolving any sort of confrontation with the police.
That's a great point, because a lot of people, when you go and you get your gun permit, which we have constitutional carry now, but when you take training to handle a gun, one of the first things they tell you is, you'll fire it as a last resort. Run, do everything else you can do before you fire your gun. Because once you fire your gun, and especially, I'm talking to a regular gun, once you fire it and you hit somebody, everything changes. And it doesn't matter whether you just, it's a flesh wound or if you cause them to assume room temperature, you are going to become intimately familiar with the court system, the legal industry in this country, because it's going to happen. And with something like this, it takes a lot of that fear and that hesitation out of it, because I suppose you could. I mean, if you aimed right, if you pop somebody in the eye with one of these things, you'll put your eye out. But this is attractive because it is, in fact, less lethal. I mean, the whole idea behind this is just to stop somebody, to incapacitate them, so you can get the hell away and or call the authorities and have them take care of the situation. And I think a lot of people prefer that because they don't want to have to deal with the legal industry.
Well, the first thing I always ask someone, whether it's a group or an individual, I put them in a position where I say, you're at home with your family and an intruder breaks in. How are you going to defend yourself and your family? And, you get the people who own a gun and they say, I'm going to take them out. I don't care. No one's going to hurt my family. And, and I can respect what people say. And again, I could speak in New Jersey that, we're a highly democratic state and the law is not on your side. And you could be in Texas or you could be in Georgia or any other state, and that allows you to carry a gun and protect yourself, but you're still going to run into those legal issues. So when I ask this question, if a person does not have a gun or a weapon, it's like a deer in headlights. They just stand there and they don't know what to say because they've never been presented with that situation. We had a demonstration on Sunday at a fire department. People came in, and what's interesting is you have a lot of women that are worried about protecting themselves, but they're scared of holding a gun. But when they shoot the burner launcher, there's no recoil because there's no gunpowder. So they're just shooting away, and all of a sudden you have a bunch of Annie Oakleys that want these things because now they feel confident that they can handle it. Now, I'll give you an idea. I had a woman come over and say, I want to try your rifle.
Look at that. Wow.
It's so cool.
And this thing has a 12 round and a 9 round magazine, a 7-round magazine that gets 19 shots off. So all of a sudden they get pretty, confident that, all right, I could use the launcher now. Let me try that sucker, and that's totally different, That's for you in your backyard where you want to kill the coyotes and all that, or a bear, or to deter a bear.
So this will, and I wonder, has anyone ever used one of these to take out a bear? Because the thing you don't want to do is piss off the bear. You want to make sure that the bear is stopped. Are you aware of anybody who's ever used one of these against a bear?
I've had a lot of questions, especially in Wyoming and rural areas where they roam free and all that stuff. And in fact, my daughter looked it up, and we were at a trade show, and someone asked me. I said, "Yeah, they use the kinetic round to deter a bear." Now, obviously, you want to be as far away from that bear as possible. Just like we say, any altercations are within 20 feet. So if you see a bear, and obviously you're not supposed to run because that aggravates them, and then they start charging. But if you're going to shoot a bear, just you got to be careful because you only have 5 rounds in the magazine if you're using a hand launcher. So you have to make sure, and it will deter them because people have used it, in those areas.
I wonder if you use the pepper spray / tear gas. Ron, do you have those?
Yeah, I've got mine here. Hang on just a second.
If you use that on, say, a bear or a dog, because you don't have to hit them directly with those rounds, do you? You just have to hit near them.
A lot depends on how the wind's blowing. Because you can hit a bear in the chest, and if the wind's blowing left to right instead of front and back, just like a person, you're outside and so that's why we use the kinetic. People use this where there's a video on YouTube where a person was in his driveway with 2 kids, and 2 Dobermans came running towards them. And the gentleman actually had his launcher with him and used the kinetic rounds to deter him. And that's what I would use. I would not try the pepper tear gas, because you never know, because they're so fast. Like people say, what about mountain lions? Well, you know what? You're taking a chance with pepper tear gas. I would use the kinetic round.
What'd you say it was? It's on YouTube. It's the what was it? Would they use it against? The burner launcher against a bear?
Dog attack. You may find it there. Man protects against dogs. His children's in the driveway.
Let's see. I've got man fends off coyote with Berna while your criminal been stopped by the police. I don't see the one. Father saves daughter from 2 aggressive pit bulls.
Yeah, that's the one.
Is that it right there?
The pit bull incident took place when I took my daughter across the street to play with her friends. As we walked across the street, I noticed 2 aggressive pit bulls that were uncollared and off leash racing towards us. I immediately grabbed my daughter out of harm's way and pulled out my Berna SD to stop the attack. I shot 5 rounds consisting of kinetic and pepper projectiles, which made both pit bulls retreat.
Look out of here, go!
I'm so glad I had my Berna with me, because without it, the outcome would be totally different. Thank you, Berna.
Inside now!
That's pretty cool. That is good. That's excellent. And you could see a little puff of tear gas spray, or pepper spray or whatever. So it made those dogs turn around. And there were 2 of them, which you'd think that they would have been a lot more aggressive running in a pack like that.
Yeah, I think
That's
they're
fabulous.
pretty startled too when just the sound and something coming at them, just like anything else. They know when they should stay away.
Right. Let's see. Lep has a question over on the X. It says, question, how long does the CO2 cartridge last? For those who are unaware.
And Ross, how does it work? Yeah, because people are concerned about the CO2 expiring, but tell them how it works on the first pull. Yeah.
Well, basically, and that's the pole pierce technology that Berna has developed, and it's patented, is a lot of competition. You load the CO2 and automatically it's punctured, and you have to use that right away. So that ruins the art of self-defense. With Berna, you could load it, you could keep it in your by your nightstand or in your holster, whatever you want, and as long as you don't pull the trigger, it's ready to go. I've had mine in my bag for 7 months and haven't used it. Once you pull the trigger, I would say it's good for 48 hours. After that, it's going to start losing a lot of its power. But when you're practicing, it's one thing. You can exhaust the CO2 just by taking shots and target shooting. But if you're protecting yourself or your family, obviously the CO2 is not important. So what I would do is take out the magazine, you press the little triangle at the top to take the one out of the chamber, and then I would just point it to the ground and keep pulling the trigger until the CO2 is exhausted.
That was a great a point you made, because I didn't realize that either. When I put the CO2 cartridge in, because it goes in right below the muzzle, and here's the video of I don't know how quickly he gets to, and the integrated tool on the magazine to open up the chamber for the CO2, ingenious. I mean, it's really cool. So once you put it in there and you tighten it down, I was under the impression that once you tightened it pierced the cylinder. And when you said, no, it doesn't pierce the cylinder until you actually pull the trigger. So in that case right there, once he's put the cylinder in, it's just sitting there waiting for that first trigger pull. And that's when the cylinder gets
so it's good. The CO2 cartridge is good indefinitely until you pull the trigger the first time.
Correct. And again, over a year, I would take it out and put a new one in, and then I would try it again. It's just a matter of being, if you're going to go out, like for instance, on Sunday when we did this demo, I used the one that the CO2 that I had in there. Obviously, transporting it, I had to take it out of my launcher. But once I got there, it was still fine. So the main thing here is that the CO2 is the least expensive thing there. So if you're worried about exhausting it and not only shooting 5 rounds and then it's sitting there for 48 hours and I haven't shot it, the ideal thing is protecting yourself and your family. So that's the most important thing. And that's why we provide a 10-pack or whatever, because there are 9 in a pack and 1 oil cartridge.
The thing is, it's fun to shoot. When we went out, we were out in the backyard here at the motel, hitting the wood fence. And the first time that I shot the fence, it was like, whoa, damn, that thing has got. It doesn't have a kick.
No, it doesn't have a kick. But
when it hits that fence, holy!
You know it hit the fence, no doubt. And we were standing probably Brad, 75 to 100 feet away from the fence.
Nah, we weren't that. We were probably 40, 50.
Well,
we weren't that.
That projectile stayed completely straight until it hit the fence.
Yeah,
it didn't drop at all. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point, because the police actually use the SD model, the self-defense model,
which is this one here.
Over 60 feet, it's more accurate because of the less 4 grams of CO2. So, for instance, there's a video of a high-speed chase. Someone stole a car. The guy wouldn't get out of the car, so the police have the orange one that Ron has in his hands, and they yell less lethal, so all the police know that he's using a less lethal launcher. He has in there the first 2 rounds of the kinetic, because they break a sidecar window. And then he follows up with the max, the tear gas and pepper, shoots it into the dash, and the person comes out and just says, "Take me away, but get this stuff out of me." And that's why they use it. They realize that it is so potent that they're using it down at the border. The border agents are using it. They're using it in over 500 different government agencies, whether it's 300 police agencies. The military's using it. They're using it. Mexico police, Brazilian police, Argentinian police are starting to use these as well.
It's just a really good idea, and especially for those people who don't want to take on the responsibility of owning a firearm, the traditional firearm. And this is, I likened it to like a paintball gun. These are a little smaller than paintball rounds, but this is genius for especially for women. And I'm looking at you, Missy 13. She's one of our listeners over in the Rumble chat room, and this is ideal for someone like her. And people can contact you directly, right? I mean, that was one of the big deals. You said just have them call me on my cell phone. So what's your cell phone number?
And I appreciate that, because most businesses, and I'm not talking down to any business whatsoever, but I find that this is a product that people, they have interest, but you have questions. So call me. I'll answer every question. And again, I don't know everything, but if I don't, I'll get back to you probably within 24 hours. Most likely I'll get back to you the same day, depending what time it is. Because my goal here is to educate as many people as possible that there is an alternative to deadly force that you can protect yourself and your family with. And the one thing I want to make sure is that people are comfortable. I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm here to educate you. And if you do like the product, then we'll take care of you. We'll make sure that you're 100% satisfied.
All right. How do people call you? What's the number?
908-642-2636. And I'm on Eastern Standard Time in New Jersey.
And we'll put that up on the screen. I won't repeat it because people can always rewind. Wade Robertson says, how many feet per second?
The SD is average 285 feet per second. The LE is 325 feet per second.
Yeah, so I noticed the one I have is mine's bigger than Ron's, but that's not unusual.
Well. Yeah,
it happens.
It happens.
And the LE is known as the law enforcement But you said the cops more often use the SD.
Yes, after 60 feet, because of the extra 4 grams of CO2, the projectile has a tendency to veer off instead of stay straight. That's after 60 feet. So from constant testing and training, and again, we have a whole division that works with police and trains them and all that stuff on this product. They've decided that the SD is more accurate for their needs. Now, most people, a lot of people say they want the 12, they want the LE because it's more powerful. So any interaction within 60 feet, mostly 20 feet, you're getting hit at 325 feet per second at 285. I don't care. You're still going to go down.
You know, when Ron first said, "Hey, this is what we're going to, be doing some business with Ross Panttell," I was like, I want to get hit with one of these just so I can talk about it. And then after we shot the fence, I was like,
"Yeah, not a good plan."
I don't want to get hit with these because this.
You know, it's interesting. We were talking. I just thought of this. I want to map out 285 feet and 325 feet and have a person stand at each spot and say, how quick can you move in 1 second? Because that comes at you in 1 second. You don't have a choice. So when you're an intruder, an assailant, a suspicious person, the one thing you want to do when you see someone is put your hands up and say, what are you doing? And if they keep on coming, you pull out your burner and say, you come any closer, I'm going to shoot you. They don't know. They look at an orange gun. What are you going to do? You know? But when they get hit with the kinetic round, and if you've seen any of the videos of these guys who want to try it, there are welts all over their body. And
imagine.
I know my brother-in-law, my son-in-law wants to get shot with it, and I said, I'm not going to shoot you. Let your friend shoot you. I'll record it or have my daughter record it, and she's probably listening now. But if you're going to get shot with a kinetic, you got to get a shot with the either tear gas or the pepper. You can't just get shot with one. You got to get the full experience.
Right.
And in fact,
you can't just
I was at a buddy's house. I was at a buddy's factory, and he wanted to see it because he wanted to purchase one. And I had mine with the pepper in it. And from taking the magazine in and out and in and out, and remember, you don't have to slam the magazine like you see in the movies. This is very easy just to slide in. So from doing that, I took it out, and there was a little powder on my leg from the pepper. And my eyes started tearing up and coughing and all that stuff. And that was like a little microcosm. And that is so potent because the pepper is equivalent to 1 million Scoville units if you know your hot wings. So that thing is so potent that if you want to get shot with it, have fun.
Well, look, I have some interesting information for people who happen to load their magazine with pepper spray and then pull it out and want to unload the magazine. Do not hold this straight up and pull this little lever because everything is spring loaded. If you pull that little lever back with rounds in the magazine, they're all going to shoot straight up, all of them. And if you've got pepper in there, you're screwed. I'm just going to say it.
When I unload mine, I take like a lunch bag. You put your sandwich in, and I just put it in there,
and then pull it back
and pull it. So it But if you don't have one and you point it to the ground, just point it away from you.
Yeah, please.
Freebie 38 has a question. Says, has the projectile ever broken bones? If you have that information or not.
Not that I've heard of. I haven't heard anyone say that it broke bones. Okay, now
I guarantee you, if you were close enough, I'm telling you, the way it hit the fence, it would break a bone. I mean, I cannot see how.
And again, where you're shooting,
break a bone. Right, exactly.
You know, where you're shooting. So, if you're shooting in the chest area, and most times people have a T-shirt on, or if they, and again, if they have a heavy coat because you're in a cold weather. The kinetic round's not going to affect you as much as if you had just a T-shirt on like you're wearing or what I'm wearing.
Right.
But I haven't had, it's like anything else. You get hit in a certain area at a certain, anything's possible.
You get
you
hit
want
in
to
the
know
jewels,
something?
you're going down like a sack of wet cement, and you're going to
Hey.
stay down for a very long time. Very long, and that's good
a
because
good
the
shot,
idea again
though.
is to
You're a good shot if you could do that.
Yeah, you would, just get one of my ex-wives. They're good at it. So there is a promo code when you go to protectmymojo.com, and the promo code is Daily MoJo. It's just Daily MoJo, one word. And what does that get them? A discount? What's that get them?
10%.
10% off. All right, excellent.
Off your whole order.
So use the
off your whole order.
All right.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yep, the whole order. And so if you want to order some holes, that's where to go. Go to protectmymojo.com. Go ahead.
And one thing, on my website, I've created a couple of packages, but I've had someone on Sunday say, well, I like the package, but I don't like this part of it. I don't need the bag. Can I get this? So I'm actually, first time I'm letting it known, if you want to create your own package, go with it, and I'll take care of it with you. I'll work out a separate deal. You still get 10% off, but you could create your own package.
Very cool. Those rifles, those look so awesome.
Yeah, that's the TCR. They actually have a what we call the Mission 4, which is an AR-15 model. And if you click on that, you'll see it. That has two 19-round magazines that intertwine with each other. You could see it there. And that shoots roughly about 100 feet.
Awesome.
And that uses awesome. Compressed air where the stock is there. And you get about 60 rounds off the compressed air.
That's really cool. All right, the website again is protectmymojo.com. The promo code is Daily MoJo, and Ross Panttell, Panttell Less Lethal Protection. Again, an official dealer of Burnett Technologies. Did I miss anything? Anything you want to add?
No, just if you're in doubt, just give a call. Again, I'm just here to educate you. If you like it, we'll take care of you. By all means, I know one person was at the show the other day and was disappointed he couldn't carry it with him, so he didn't order it. But that's fine. It's your choice. Here, I just want to make sure everyone has an opportunity, whether you don't want to own a gun. We have these carry, which these are great for women. They have attached to your backpack or to your, it's kind of small, but this is tear gas and pepper, and it shoots 12 feet.
Excellent.
And this is what they call military grade. So what happens is the coating on your face, even though you'll wash it away, it's good for 48 hours. So if you're in a confrontation with someone, the police could shine a blue light on it, and it'll shine up you just turn the light on.
Nice. I like that.
And
all right, and they can find out more about that on the website.
All
too.
that stuff.
All right.
Look at the different products. We have band shield arms and all that, but we're here to protect people.
Absolutely. Ross Panttell, again, thank you for your time. It's great to have you on board at the Daily MoJo, and we're looking forward to this because I think it's a fabulous product.
And thank you to you guys. It's really a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to a great partnership. And anytime you have any questions or whatever, just give me a holler.
We will.
Will do.
Thank you, sir.
All right, my friend.
Thanks for
Ross
having
Panttell.
All the best.
Panttell Less Lethal Protection. You got it.
Wow.
Very, very cool. And more of the Daily MoJo is next.
If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily MoJo.
Over in the Rumble chat room, back quarters like, oh, look at that. That's very cool. Wade's like, all right, cut the sales pitch. What's the price on this fancy paintball gun? And you get 10% off. And so E1 Guru says $370. I guess mid. I honestly, I didn't even know.
I think it depends on whether you're getting the LE or the SD version. There is a price difference.
There you go. They were from $380 to $480. So again, you get 10% off with Daily MoJo as the promo code. Backcourt says, I think I'm getting get my daughter one. If I let her shoot me, I'll film it for you guys.
Please do. Yeah,
I really
please
did.
do.
I wanted to, but once I saw it hit the fence, I'm like, I don't know. I've been hit with a paintball gun.
I remember the plan was on my way over there, you're going to shoot me with it and we're going to film it. And then we shot the fence and Brad's like, no, you're not going to shoot me with it. And then we forgot to film it.
We did. We got all excited. And
Brad couldn't contain his excitement. He loaded that. See, I didn't know that it didn't. I thought when you twisted that cartridge in that it pierced the cartridge. And so I'm thinking to myself, if the cartridge only lasts 48 to 72 hours, then how do you keep it ready to go? Well, now we know. It's first, what do you call it? First pull piercing.
Yep.
So you can keep
First
a
pull
full
piercing.
cartridge there, but when you pull the trigger the
Yeah.
first time, it pierces and fires. Yeah. Nice.
Exactly. Hang on a second. What is playing over here? That right there. So I wanted to show you this because this is an example of something.
California. Wing mirrors fully extended, hand on the steering wheel, and the sun glinting off his blue oval badge. Because Red was flying a Ford Pinto. Just moments earlier, Janice had pushed the Pinto to 65 miles an hour on a short runway. With the wings and a push engine from a Cessna helping him along, it took off. And there he was, high above Camarillo, California, a Ford Pinto with the wings of a plane.
What the hell?
When I found that, I was like, oh my gosh, a Ford Pinto flew? They barely
And it didn't
drove.
go off a cliff. It was literally flying. Yes.
It was flying. But we're going to have another Wednesday watch party this afternoon. And so you are invited as an insider to join us on the Wednesday watch party. It'll be over in the TDM Unfiltered area of the website. And we're just going to watch some stuff and, have a big time together. Maybe tell stories about other people. We like to do that on occasion, don't we?
Yes.
Don't we, Ron?
Yes, we do.
Uh-huh. So if you aren't busy and you're an insider, join us this afternoon. And thank you. Jamie Kiefer sent me a story over on the app. If you haven't downloaded the Daily MoJo app, please do so at thedailymojo.com. Once you do that, you can send us messages inside the app. And I was aware of this story and download it today. I mean, I don't mean to say this in passing. Just download the damn app. It's simple. It's not going to hurt you. Just do it. And then enable notifications. That way we can get in touch with you when we need to. Not that tough. Let's do it. No one gets hurt. Download it at thedailymojo.com. You can watch the show. Did we work all the bugs out of the app?
We still have the problem with the iPad situation because we're using the Rumble player now. The Rumble player actually makes us revenue. And so we're trying to decide what we want to do. If we go to a player that doesn't generate revenue for us like we had in the past, we can fix the problem pretty easily, but we're trying to work with Rumble to see if we can get that issue resolved inside the app. It's only inside the app that the problem is affected. Yeah.
It's about the Benjamins.
Well, come on. And we need the Benjamins. So
we do need the Benjamins. I mean, if you want us to stick around, I'm assuming you do. If you're watching, listening,
watch it on a computer.
Watch the damn thing and send us money, for crying out loud. Do you think we do this for our health? No.
That's not to say that you can't watch it on an iPad. You just can't make it full screen, apparently.
Can't make it bigger.
Yeah.
How big do you want it?
Yeah.
Jamie, thank you for this story. And I've been looking for a picture of these girls, and I could not find. I should clarify that. I was looking for a picture of the 3 girls in Houston. I think this may or may not be. This is what came up on the Google search, these 2. Are those girls?
They don't look like it.
I don't, but I don't. Anyway, 3 teenage girls in Houston tried to stab their mom with knives because the mom turned off the Wi-Fi. It's a strange world. This Monday, the Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a call about a disturbance at a home on Barker's Crossing in Houston. The deputies found a woman who had been assaulted by her 3 teenage kids, aged 14, 15, and 16. The 3 siblings who have not been identified, although I think it would be beneficial for the community as a whole to identify the hell out of them. They have not been identified. They allegedly coordinated a plan to try and kill the mother. When the woman, who also has not been identified, because then you could see we could identify the kids, starting to wonder if they're illegals. Again, I don't know if that's them or not. But they allegedly killed them. But the woman who's not been identified turned off the Wi-Fi. All 3 of the Utes grabbed kitchen knives and chased her throughout the house and into the street, attempting to stab her. The mother was also allegedly struck with a brick. And in the process, the grandmother was knocked over while trying to protect the mother. Can you imagine? That would be one hell of a neighborhood in which to live, would it not?
Yeah.
I mean, I get the impression that things around that area are pretty doggone exciting, as we'll hear from the local Fox affiliate.
Say they plan to kill their own mother, and they say that it's all because their mom turned off the Wi-Fi. It happened overnight.
Do you think she's high maintenance?
Probably.
I'm thinking she's high maintenance. She's just got that high maintenance look to her. And just an aside, I mean, that's what we do here.
On Barker's Crossing near Barker Cypress in northwest Harris County. That's where we find Fox 26's Jade Fleury on this disturbing story. Jade.
What about Jade? Do you think she's high maintenance?
Probably.
I don't know. She looks a little more down to earth to me.
Well, fortunately, the Harris County Sheriff's Office says that the teen's mom was not seriously injured after her own daughters tried to stab her with knives. And we spoke with some nearby neighbors who tell us that disturbances happen frequently at the family home.
They're known for that in this neighborhood. There's always cops around.
Okay, that's a nice house.
Yeah.
I'm missing a couple shingles, but then who isn't? Which is kind of representative, apparently, of the people living in it. But I mean, that's a decent, I don't know if they own the house or if they rent it. There is a ladder leaning up against their air conditioner, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose.
A family dispute turned violent. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says a mother was assaulted by her own teenage daughters for turning off the Wi-Fi. Authorities allege the girls then plotted to kill her. The 3 teens, ages 14, 15, and 16 years old, accused of grabbing kitchen knives and chasing their mom throughout the house and into the street. A nearby neighbor says they were returning from the rodeo when they saw the family in the driveway. Moments later, the homeowner and her sister heard yelling.
When she got back from the gas station, she says that there was cops outside. They've always, been known as like trouble in this neighborhood, and our neighbors tell us the same thing.
The mother was hit with a brick and the teen's grandmother knocked over while trying to intervene. Teens 14, 15, and 16 supposedly assaulting their mother because she turned off the Wi-Fi. What are your thoughts on that?
I think
it's fairly normal. I mean, I thought, why wouldn't they? I mean, if you try to turn off. That wasn't me talking. That was her talking. Why'd you take a shot at me? It was her.
Oh, okay.
Back to her.
That's so crazy. I mean, it just tells how much unstable that family is, and it's very sad for them.
Huh. Teach you to turn the damn Wi-Fi off, won't it? Leave the damn Wi-Fi on.
Shit.
Shouldn't.
I've shut the Wi-Fi off so many times on my kids, and I dare them to come at me with a knife. I will burn a launch them into next week.
A big man. Well, I told her not to do it. Okay, this is just plain ass weird. And I had no idea. Did you know that because I've always heard that crocodiles didn't live in was it the northern hemisphere or something like that?
I don't know.
Alligators here and crocodiles down under. But this is a crocodile.
Those are alligators.
Nope. One is a crocodile and one is an alligator.
The one in the front, the one headed towards us is an alligator. Oh,
That's
I see.
an alligator.
Yeah, there's the crocodile.
The other one is a crocodile. Okay, what's the difference?
The snout. Look at the snout. One's long and thin, and one's rounded, thick and rounded.
Still talking about crocodiles?
Yes.
Okay, just curious. So here's the explanation. I say here's the explanation.
See an alligator being attacked by an American crocodile in Everglades National Park. It looks to be at Shark Valley. Now, why is the croc attacking the gator? Florida is the only place in the world with both alligators and crocodiles native to the area, and they usually get along relatively well. They can still be territorial, but in this instance, that croc really has it out for the gator. No. What I'm assuming the reason is she has a nest nearby. We're right in the right time of year where she would be nesting, and if she is, that would really explain this aggression towards the gator. Now, you can see the gator actually looks pretty bewildered. It's like, bro, why are you attacking me? Why are you coming after me like that? And the croc is determined to get that alligator out of the area. So I would assume it is due to nesting or maybe just territory. Usually they do get along pretty well since Florida is the only place in the world where they are both native. And I always say gators and crocs don't kill each other for looking different like people do. And you can actually see them in that same spot year-round hanging out without any conflict.
Huh. Who knew?
Wow.
I mean, I'm
now we know there are crocodiles in Florida.
I was today years old when I learned that, and the crocodile. I didn't realize they like get up on their feet like that.
Oh yeah,
up on their legs, dude. I mean, I don't think I've ever. It's like, dude, why are you? But the crocodile is just like slithering along. Don't you know that would hurt like a mother? Now, my first thought was, ooh, if you burn them.
What do they do? It probably just bounces off. That's my guess, unless you hit them inside the mouth.
No. Look at all the
or hit them in the eye.
Yeah.
Would tear gas do anything to them?
I don't know.
They're like the perfect just killing machine, aren't they? They're
yes.
Just, thank you for answering that. No, they already answered. They said yes. And then he goes wandering off into the bushes, which isn't that where her nest would be if she had a nest? He's like, wait, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's just a weird. It's like the Florida man of alligators.
Yeah.
Right. Just how often do you see that? And then somebody, it was.
Yeah, they were preoccupied with each other and not the bikers.
Right. Well, and I think it was Cougar was saying, hey, I wouldn't be that close to him. And I thought the same thing at first, but there's this big bike rack between them.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking they would have a tough time getting at you. And I'm fairly certain if they were coming at me, I could stand in the basket on that bike. Pretty sure I could. I think I could I would be up on top of that sucker. And they'd have a hard time coming at me, bro. A hard time coming at me. There's weird shit all over the world, isn't there? You can quote me on that. We got more of it, too, in a minute here on the Daily Mojo.
Stupidity is not a competition.
The whole island will become so...
Unless you're a politician.
Overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
The Daily Mojo. The Daily Mojo.
And I believe it was Lizzie B on the app today that sent me a note wanting to have an update on the old Fort Knox situation. And let's see where I put the picture, because the pictures of Fort Knox, where the hell did they go? There's one. So first, Fort Knox and the gold situation. Did you? I guess I knew this, that's what Fort Knox looks like. It's like a building in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, because most of it's underground, I think. So.
You ever been there?
I have not, but I mean that building's relatively small, and I would assume that ramp on the right there goes underground.
that a ramp? What is that? That's just a gate.
Maybe. Yeah, I think
I'm with you. I think it's
underground.
got to be underground. And one dude is like, I thought I thought it would look more 40, more military-ish. And dude's like, yeah, it does up close. So they've got the
turret
cameras
up there,
and the lights and the turrets and probably a couple. I mean, are those what are those, telescopes?
No, those are probably, well, I started saying
they look like
cameras,
the things up, like the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
I wonder if you had to put a quarter in these. Probably not. But the latest on Fort Knox is there ain't no latest. For whatever reason, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of investigation into it, which I find rather strange. I find it very odd that that there aren't more demand. Part of it is because the news cycle again is so damn fast that it's like 1 week it's this, the next week it's there's a reporter in on a call with the Defense Department, and the sharing, which I think that thing is a whole. That's another wild goose chase. But the reporter from the Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that story about being in on the phone call with Hegseth and
it wasn't a phone call; it was a text message. It was a signal text message. However, the Atlantic just this morning released additional language from the text. So I don't know what that is yet. I just saw the headline come over. So there's a battle going on, and there's probably a lot more to this story.
That there's somebody who did that intentionally.
Yeah,
because the Atlantic. What are the odds of the Atlantic being
added to
the outlet that
Walls?
got
Not that Walls, but the other Walls, the one that's in charge. I can't remember his first name. He says
Mike
Walls. Yeah, he's like, I don't even have this guy on my phone to be able to add him, but he has accepted full responsibility for it, as he should. It's his department, but somebody in that text chain added this guy to the deal, and they're going to figure out who it is, and they're going to put him under the jail, because that was a little bit embarrassing, quite honestly. And then, of course, Gabbard and Walls sat in front of Congress yesterday and had to answer those questions about it. Now, Walls was on it, but I don't think Gabbard was on it. The chain, maybe she was, but there was a lot of discussion about, can you use the Signal app for that purpose? Because here's the thing about Signal. It deletes the text messages. So there is no more record of those conversations, which goes against what rules and laws that we have that say all that must be documented.
There's a mole in there is what there is.
Somebody is trying to sabotage, yes.
Yep. And they're everywhere. These little bastards are everywhere.
Yep.
And so with the whole Fort Knox thing, there is a TV station up there in Kentucky, Wilkie, and they have a little segment called Ask Carrie. And she had an interesting interview with a dude who I guess his dad used to work there, and he helped count the gold once.
I am talking to a man who actually helped count the gold many years ago.
They talk about things that I had access to, but I've never told anybody about over the years.
The mystique around the U.S. depository at Fort Knox is well warranted, given that one of America's most valuable assets sits guarded there. According to the U.S. Mint, there are 5,000 tons of gold there. And when Lucas Stone helped audit it in the 1980s, it was quite a sight to see.
The responsibility given to an 18, 19, 20-year-old to handle what the country owns was very impressive.
Stone says his father was a guard at the depository for years, and that's how he got the job.
He called me at some time, I don't remember, it was sometime during the spring semester, and he called me and asked me if I wanted some work for the summer. And I asked him what, and he said, don't ask questions,
He didn't ask questions. He just showed up, got his assignment, and started stacking gold.
And we go down into the vault. We work our half hour. We come out the next, we pass the other guys going in. There were guards watching us all the time.
He still has the certificate he got for helping with the audit, but over the years, skepticism has grown amongst some people with fewer audits done and less access to the depository. In 2017, Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell and then Governor Matt Bevin toured the facility with a group of politicians. According to the Associated Press, it was the first time since 1974 elected leaders visited the vault. When asked about the visit, McConnell said he couldn't say much about the visit for security reasons.
It would take a massive number of people to take it back out, even if you were trying to do it secretly.
Yeah, but over the course of 10 years, well, first, we're assuming that Mitch McConnell is telling us the truth. We're assuming that Matt Bevin is telling us the truth.
Correct.
I look down, I see Matt Bevin's name on the bell. I want to believe Matt Bevin's a good guy. I've never met Matt Bevin. I don't know Matt Bevin. Mitch McConnell is a giant scumbag. His actions, at least, have spoken to that. So, were they telling the truth? Or is this a situation where, well, we couldn't say anything about the gold not being there because that would have caused a, constitutional crisis or something? That gets tossed around a lot, too, constitutional. We're in a constitutional crisis. You mean like when the different branches of government start interrupting and sticking their nose in other areas that they don't belong? That kind of no. That's not a constitutional crisis. That's checks and balances. Fine line, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Fine line between sticking your fat nose into it and doing what you're supposed to do as the different branches of government. But what do I know? I'm just another guy. Another guy. There was a you know what? Let's show this idiot because I'm stunned.
Well, these Tesla terrorists are getting ballsy now.
They're just dumber than rocks.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any audio on this, but this is another one of
so the Tesla was backing out.
Pissed.
She gets out of her vehicle.
She gets pissed out of her own, and she's driving a 4Runner, I think, which is surprising because you don't find that many dicks. Is that a Toyota?
Looks like it, or maybe.
I'm going to be upset if that's a. Yeah, it's a 4Runner. Dicks aren't allowed to drive Toyotas. But she gets out of her 4Runner and goes back, confronts the woman driving the Tesla, and again, in another stunning show of the ignorance of these morons, does not realize that there's a camera right there. She bitches at the woman driving the Tesla and then takes her key and scratches it. I mean, are they? And do you not have an original bone in your body? Can you not think, well, everybody else is keying them, so I'm going to key it too? How about spray painting the window? Try spray painting the window. That might be.
I see. I don't understand.
You spray paint the window, though, you can get that off.
Yeah.
You can't necessarily get the scratch out of the paint.
I don't understand people's need to ruin somebody else's property out of spite for Elon Musk. Just because you're driving one of his cars doesn't mean you're a fan of Elon Musk. You just happen to like the technology. That's why I would drive it, because I like the technology of the vehicle. I would drive a Tesla today if I had one. But the problem is
they're retards.
In my mind, I would dare somebody to walk up and key my car. I would beat them to a bloody pulp. I'd go to jail for it too. I get it. But quite honestly, I don't give a shit. I would punch them in their freaking throat and then ask them, what the hell's wrong with you? You freaking
throat
idiot.
Punch them, kick them in the nuts, and then pepper spray them. Right?
I would burn a launch them right into next week. Get the hell away from my car. I mean, what?
It baffles me how mentally disturbed these people have to be.
The balls on that chick to get out of her car. I mean, there are videos of people stopping in the middle of a highway, going down the highway, stopping to get out of their vehicle to walk back to a Tesla to bitch about this person owning a Tesla. Who gives a shit what you think?
It's a mental illness. It really is. I always kind of resisted that idea. I don't know why. It just seemed like it was a bit over the top. But the more I see these stories, the more I really do believe that these people are tards. Because there's something, there is something, your brain is miswired when you think that that's A, okay, B, a good idea. Where is it? E1 Guru says dicks drive all kinds of cars. Yeah, but they shouldn't be allowed to drive Toyotas.
You're a Toyota fan. I get it.
Yeah, that's because they last.
They do.
They last forever. And yeah. And she's just an idiot. Oh, I've got some other news. Want to hear it?
Yeah.
We'll do it next on the Daily Mojo.
You're listening to the lunatic fringe of American radio, the Daily Mojo.
Missy13 says, someone wrote on my daughter's car, literally wrote on it. She wasn't blocking his driveway. She called me. I freaking jumped out of my bath and I went nuts, kicking in the guy's door. Do not piss off Missy13. She said, not so good. The cops came. Thank God someone knew how to deal with the popo. And I got home in time. Who writes on a car, right? Who writes on a car, Missy13? Because it's crazy. And I agree with you. And I would have, I will never F with Missy13. And she has dogs that'll bite you, too. I think her dogs will eat you. Yeah, DMX says, Tard's going to Tard. It's true. Clock Tower Drunk, I still won't use Signal because everyone wants your actual phone number to find you and thus for putting you on telemarketers' lists or even compromising your social security number if somebody truly wants it. Feel like he's trying to communicate? I'm just not sure what language. Justin Amash, Mojo Martian retweeted this. The level of incompetence here is mind-blowing regarding the discussion.
Messaging, probably.
The messaging. But what shouldn't be overlooked is the specific substance of the group chat. There was no emergency. The executive branch unlawfully sidestepped Congress, taking military action that top officials admit was elective. The discussion establishes unequivocally that the strike in Yemen are unconstitutional. And he's referencing an Atlantic article. American war planning usually takes place in highly secure facilities, blah, blah, blah. Anybody stop to think that this may have been a honeypot? This may have been...
No, not till you just said it, but...
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
But they did drop bombs on Yemen. I mean, they did go after them. So, I mean...
Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know. More than slightly venomous, Kirk, the difference between an alligator and a crocodile is that one says after a while, and the other says see you later. There was, somebody did comment on that video, and there was the altercation was over seeing someone later or after a while.
Yeah.
Exactly. Real quickly, another freebie here. Not from Freebie 38. Who was it that sent this? Gosh, was it that one guy? Oh, no. Rob. Thank you, Rob. He sent a note via the app, and it was for something really cool. I use a different method, but this one, I have not tried this yet. but here it is. It's called removepaywall.com. Read articles without annoying paywalls.
There you go.
I may have just effed us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's all right, because you know what? I trust each and every one of you. And besides, we know who you are if you bust in. Oh. And I'm not afraid to burn your ass.
Whoops. There you go. I didn't even catch it.
What?
Can you do it again? Do it again.
No.
Okay, all right.
You never repeat the joke. If you can't, I know how hard it is to push a button. I get it. It's tough. They know what it is. So on Friday, Ron, what are we going to be doing?
What are we doing on Friday?
Really? I set you up and that's what you do?
Yeah.
Who are we going to be talking with on Friday?
We're going to be talking with Marissa, our little email girl from yesterday. Yeah.
Our email girl. She is
Simonetti. Is that it? Simonetti?
Probably listening. Yeah. Marissa Simonetti, known as the tarantula tosser. And
she actually answered your request, didn't she? That's cool.
Well, she's the one who reached out. So
no, I get it. Yeah.
All I did was answer her. Did we show her?
Yes, we did.
What?
Show her image?
Did we show her? I mean, no, did we show her
the mugshot? No, I don't think we did.
I don't know if we'll ask her about that. We might. But I mean, this is all stuff out there. If you want to Google it, you're going to find out about Marissa.
Little domestic assault.
But who knows? There's a story behind every story. But she's over on and she ran for, what was it, the 6th Congressional District, I think. Up in Minnesota. Where the hell was it? News, third congressional, Randy Sutter, congressional over Hennepin County. Hennepin County is that Minnesota, Michigan? What the hell is that? Come on, Ron, you know where it is. Hennepin County.
I don't know.
Anyway, she ran for public
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm looking. Hennepin County is in Minnesota.
All right. See, I was right the first time. I should trust my instincts more. Anyway, she has a fascinating story, and you know what? I don't know what we'll talk to her about, but we'll find something, and we'll discuss it with her on Friday. Because sometimes you take what life tosses your way, and you run with it, right?
Yes.
And sometimes,
yes,
you go, you know what the hell? Sometimes, Joel, you just have to say, "What the F?" Name the movie.
No idea.
Oh my! Really? Did you never watch Risky Business?
Oh, dude, those things don't stick in my head like they do you. I watch a movie, I forget the whole thing after I watched it.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, thank you for reminding me. Mega Quake. Hold on a minute. What the hell was that movie called? It was, I don't think I've ever seen a movie that was as bad as this one.
Mega Quake.
Where did Mega Quake. Shoot. Was it Mega Quake San Andreas? I mean, it was Mega. There it is. San Andreas Mega Quake. That's what it's called. San Andreas Mega Quake. And it.
Where can one find this shitty movie?
On Amazon. And here's. This is. I mean, it's 3.5 stars. Scientists discovered the big one is coming soon, and with it, everything west of the San Andreas Fault will sink into the ocean. The scientists try to stop the quake, but as foreshocks turned California into chaos, it's a race against time. Okay, I mean, I was like, 2019, and it was so. I wasn't really watching it. I just had it on the background, and I went and I looked up the reviews because when Beth Enoch was here watching, as well. It was some of the possibly the worst acting I've ever seen. But not just that, it was combined with possibly the worst writing I've ever witnessed. And you couple that with some of the worst production design, the worst props. It was a conglomeration of horrible.
They only had $120 budget, Brad.
It was one of those that you keep watching. It's so bad, but you keep watching it going, holy crap, I can't believe they just fill in the blank. And I looked up the reviews for it. Harry Dolan says, I'm lucky to give this film a 1-star rating as it should be a 0. Actors should be embarrassed and ashamed since the acting was so horrid and so fake. How does when the helicopter crash and no one gets a scratch? That was one of the scenes where the helicopter goes, it loses the whole rotor. Just gone. And the helicopter keeps going straight, first of all. And there were 4 of them in the helicopter, and they all walk away. He's like, okay, I don't think that. Do not watch this only for a laugh of how bad it is. My school does a better movie than that garbage. Rather stick needles in my eyes than watch this again. Wasted 2 hours of my life. So boring. I was praying for a tsunami and a mega earthquake. The director should leave The director should leave the film before the film leaves him. The game's gone after watching this shit. How do these actors get paid millions to act that garbage? I don't think they did. A blind fish could be an actor after watching this. So unrealistic, like if you fall into an earthquake, you can only fall 6 feet and die. Oh, that's right. This dude falls off a truck, and you think it's like in this major, big, deep gash, and it's like, they look down and he's about 5 feet below. And some other dude jumps down to save him. They have a conversation. So the dude that fell into the pit is alive until he's dead. And he's like, no, you have to go save California. And he's dead. I mean, you're going to have to watch it just to see how bad it is. I kid you not, it's entertainingly bad. Because if you're going to be bad, be the worst bad you can be, right? Christine said, can we talk about the missile made with yellow and red duct tape?
Nice.
A painted foam cone and likely a spray-painted flower pot on the end. I wish I could post a freeze frame shot, but I laughed so hard it's a major element for the final 10 minutes of the film. But they didn't even bother to make the duct tape smooth. And on the side of the bomb, it says Mega Quake Killer. I'm going to put it on again today because it's so bad. It's really, I'm not kidding. It is.
I watched one yesterday that I thought was pretty bad, and it had a decent star in it. It was a movie called Blacklight with Liam Neeson.
Really?
His are usually pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
This one I had never heard of. I thought, oh, Liam Neeson, this is good. I will find you and I will kill you. No, it just wasn't. It wasn't a good movie. So
some movies are just they're bad because they're
a lot of this one. Out. Yeah, a lot of this one was because they had to edit it so hard. You lose plot line throughout it.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like,
and that's
really?
What makes a lot of them bad. What was the Mrs. Webb? What was that one with the chick, Spider-Woman chick, Madam Webb?
Madam Webb.
Madam Webb was bad because it was not because the acting was bad, because the acting was all right, the writing was okay, the special effects were okay. But what happened was, somewhere along the line, they had to remove Spider-Man from the movie. I can't remember what the reason was. So they had to completely rejigger the whole plot line to make, I think, the 3 girls that were the Spider Girls, they had to make them bad when they weren't bad to begin with. So they had to reshoot reshoot stuff. They had to put new dialogue in scenes where you couldn't see their mouths moving, so they could just add dialogue.
Yeah.
I mean, they had to really twist the whole thing up to such a degree that you got to the end of it going, I have no idea what just happened in that movie. None. I mean, it was kind of like Snow White, but not quite as big a fustercluck as Snow White. But and that's what will make a movie bad. What made San Andreas Megaquake so bad is I can't believe they even did that. I mean, the plot makes sense. They're going to save California, and they explain it. They're going to put this bomb into the La Brea tar pits to cause the magma from the underground volcano to sink into the San Andreas Fault and seal it up. All right, I get that's a stupid idea, but at least I get what you're saying. We're going to glue the San Andreas Fault line shut with lava. Okay. That's a succinct definition or an explanation of what you're gonna do.
Somebody took that script into a producer's office, and the producer went, hell yeah, let's do this.
Let's do it. They show La Brea, the La Brea tar pits, and there's mountains in the background. If you've ever been to the La Brea tar pits, they're in downtown L.A. There are no mountains in the background.
Wow.
It's crazy. So it's one of those where we might be able to watch a little bit of it on the Wednesday watch party, which is this afternoon at 4:00 Central Time. So we'll get together and have some fun there. Wanted to share with you, I got this news this morning from misinformation from Erica about Peter Serafin.
Yeah.
He could use some prayers right now. He is, from what I'm told, he is in the hospital. He was supposed to start chemo, but he is having issues with pneumonia at the same time.
They could not start the chemo. And for those that don't know, I don't remember. I know it's stage 4 cancer, but I don't remember what cancer. Do you?
I don't.
Yeah. It's he's and it was.
They've got him on a ventilator right
sudden,
now.
Yeah.
From what I'm told.
Yeah.
And this came out of absolutely nowhere, for the most part. So if you could send up a prayer or two for Peter, that would be fabulous, because he is a good guy. He's a patriot, smart, and sometimes this shit happens to
good people.
Good people.
Yeah.
And there's no rhyme or reason, but if you can spare some good vibes or some prayers, that would be fabulous. Just to let Peter know that you are thinking of him. So with that, we shall take our leave.
What do you mean it's last call?
Because that right there is 2 hours of audio deliciousness, insanity.
It is.
And bad behavior in some cases here, known as the Daily MoJo for Wednesday, Hump Day, the 26th day of March, the last day I can wear this shirt.
So happy I'm 30 twice. Shit.
Right. Because tomorrow I'm 30 twice plus $1.
Plus one. Yeah.
Plus $1. Yep. So we'll find out if anybody learned a damn thing. And I know that Ron has a huge show planned for tomorrow. And I'm just going to show up.
Nope.
So it's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to everything you've got planned for me. I mean, I'm not worthy.
Well, you
but
just keep looking forward. Then there you go.
Thank you in advance. It's going to be exciting. So don't miss tomorrow's epic
birthday show,
Daily MoJo.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Missy13 says, sending prayers to Peter and his family. Thank you for doing that. Not my dog. Says, sounds like the last 3 seasons of Person of Interest that closed for lack of interest. Right. Yeah, really, there is something special about a movie that is so incredible. I mean, really, really, really bad that you go, I'm gonna watch that again just to.
Dude, I always growing up, I always thought Rocky Horror Picture Show was one of those, but it turned into a cult classic.
I was just about to say that, because Rocky Horror, if you didn't understand, I mean, now it doesn't seem that weird, does
nope.
it?
It doesn't.
You go back to the 70s and it's like,
that was a dumb movie.
Damn it, Janet. The other Steve says, which high school produced this? Sounds like a high school AV team.
Might have been.
To be fair, there are high school teams that do a better job with productions than they did. Dr. Mojo Martian, I've seen that. I love watching movies like that. The worse they are, the better. There's tons of them on Tubi. Yeah, that's a good point. I think you're right. And you're like, how did somebody paid cash money to do that?
Yeah, they did.
John Greystoke says, now what I want to see Friday, Bart and Ron eat mad honey and have a burn a shootout on air. Epic. I'd pay to see that myself. And over in the Daily Mojo chat room, Pope Treaty the 38th. God bless everyone and have a great day. Hugs and love for all. God bless us, Deb, and I agree. Remember that we the people must hang together, otherwise we shall surely hang separately. 6 Semper Tyrannis, resist stupid, and good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are, see you tomorrow.
I'll see you this afternoon.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.